I'll just introduce myself. Peter Moore's my name, as he said. I'm been in the mining business over 30 years. So my dad was a professor of geology, so I was his field assistant as a young boy, and was a lawyer and did law business and arts at uni, and been involved in this business through our consulting company, doing specialist high-resolution multispectral imaging, remote sensing, and in the last 10 years or so I've been in ventures like this one. I founded Sierra Nevada Gold. I'm one of the major shareholders, and it was a private company in 2011 in Nevada. We've got 5 projects. But before that, I was a dumb footballer. I'll show you this just to create a bit of colour and movement. That's what I used to do. Now this will help you remember this presentation because it's that guy that played football, right? And that's Australian rules, not ice hockey or American football, and I played 15 years of that down in Australia while I was studying as a professional player, and then got out of the law and into mining. So the Sierra Nevada Gold story is we're Nevada focused. Been there since 2011. We had some remote sensing data that we owned in the area. We went in and reprocessed it and started looking at some targets and found a couple of our projects. Our targets have turned into projects, Long Canyon being one of them. We also worked on Pipeline and several other discoveries in Nevada, mapping structure and spectral anomalies. So we re-evaluated that data, which we got back from our client in 2010, and went in to select some projects. Our advisor to that was Ken Snyder, the Midas discoverer, and Ken Snyder mined, very famous geologist in Nevada, and said to Ken, show me your best 4 areas that no one's paid much attention to, and that's what we did. Got a big land package. We spent over 12 million before listing last year, and we developed our own data sets, proprietary data sets, and more of a broad acre, unclaimed land, open ground sort of discovery targeting program. And we're looking for tier 1 systems and potential tier 1 discoveries. We've got a big exposure to a porphyry. We discovered a large copper porphyry system in the Walker Lane trend in 2018 with geophysics. Spent over $4 million on geophysics and other work in there. We've got a really exciting porphyry there that we're looking to joint venture. We've invested since listing, since inception, 16 million, acquiring, generating, testing targets and target generation. When we listed, we had our targeting all done. We had all the geology done, and we had 4 projects, all of which could have been company makers, and they still can be. We're trying to write them off, but we haven't been able to with drilling last year. And we've been here in Nevada for over 20 years, looking at big deposits. So moving along, we've got 5 quality projects. Obviously, Nevada's elephant country. You can see there the Battle Mountain trend. Let me just go back here. The Battle Mountain Eureka trend up here. We've got a project in there called Colourback. We've got New Pass, which is a high-grade vein system. This thing's a really interesting location. Warrior, another high-grade epithermal system. We have some major drilling results there recently, which has made it extremely exciting. We've drilled New Pass as well, and we drilled Colourback all in the last 6 months of last year. The big porphyry's down here in the Walker Lane trend, and the epithermal project is also there. There's a coincident high-grade epithermal vein system. It's coincident with the project, so it's in a good location. That's a company overview, which I won't go into too much detail. We listed in May last year. Got some terrific shareholders, very, very tightly held stock, and a lot of high net worth people investing in it. We listed on the ASX because most of our shareholders were there, and we know that market, but we're looking to list in the TSX, it's the first opportunity. Got a strong board, myself, Dr. Alan Wilson, he's ex-Anglo, and involved in porphyries and copper exploration, and also at Antofagasta. Robert Gray's a finance corporate type, so a strong board. So these are the snapshot of the projects. Warrior's a high-grade epithermal vein system. It's a large system's been identified. We drilled in 2022, and we highlights there 17 metres at nearly 2 grams, including 2.5 metres at 7.76 grams gold. So we've identified I'll show you in a minute, 10 kilometre strike length of blind targets, and we've confirmed a really large mineral system underneath the old high-grade vein systems. New Pass is another high-grade vein system, parallel veins, never been drilled for probably 40 years since it had a hole drilled in it. We've drilled it and got 1.2 metres at 26 grams. It's high-grade, produced about 17 to 20 grams per tonne when it was in production until the 20s and 30s. Since then it was an old guy mining on his own, and he high-graded it and mined some pretty exciting ore. The Blackhawk Epithermal is a silver gold vein system, 22 kilometres of veins identified and mapped, and that is, we had a discovery hole into that, and we've got about 5 metres there at 30 grams gold equivalent, lots of lead, zinc, silver in it as well. So really highly mineralised, endowed system. The rock chips around the whole area there at Blackhawk are off the charts. Colourback's a Carlin style project. It's right next to Cortez, Pipeline, Robertson, all the big mines in that valley. We drilled it in 2022 just to commission a new rig that we had constructed, and we tested it out there and confirmed a leakage anomaly drilled pre-JORC, and we got a good hit there, 26 metres at 1.3 grams, 7 metres at 3.6. So large leakage anomaly over some pretty big structures. The Blackhawk Porphy is the discovery. That's a huge system. We've engaged with 7 majors, signed CAs on that, with all looking to, done data reviews and all looking to do further investigations. So we're opening, in a couple of months, we'll be opening a joint venture process with Red Cloud in order to try that out. Now, Warrior in a bit more detail, you see it's located, probably on that side you won't be able to see it, but, oh sorry, pushing the wrong one again. But the Paradise Peak mine is up here, 14 kilometres strike, down to here. This is the project in here. So it's really well located. We've got the Simon mine nearby, and the really rich Santa Fe mine, which was 750,000 ounces in the neighbourhood. So it's analogous to some pretty good deposits. So we really like the geology, and as I say, we've done some drilling, which I'll show you in a sec. So it's primed for a rapid discovery. We've got ready drilled targets, got 4 main high-grade historic mines on the project: Warrior, Hillside, Cute Maid and Lou. They're sampling underground. We've got some historic sampling assays of the old production veins, and things like 90 metres at 50 grams and 20 metres at 70 grams, things like that. So the old mines are really high grade, but we think the system is a lot deeper and bigger than that, but maybe not as high grade, but certainly bigger. And we've got a 2 kilometre strike length. The drilling in 2022, it's analogous to sort of the Midas mine, really, this high grade epithermal type veins, 2 million ounces, 25 million ounces of silver at Midas. So it's pretty exciting. So our 2022 drilling, we've just put 4 or 5 holes into it. We had to really get the drilling done before snow came, so we've got to go back and continue that program. We've got another 10 holes to drill, but we've got some good results there. We've got 17 metres at 1.57, including 2.4 metres at 7.76 gold, and well as another at the other end, 2 kilometres away, 143 metres at 0.24 grams, including a couple of high-grade intercepts as well. So what that means for the project is in this cross-section, is that it's 2 kilometres from this hole here, which had the good results, and this hole here, we've got a 2 kilometre strength. Between the red dotted line is the identified mineral system. So we've got a real project on our hands here. So we're pretty excited about that whole area through there with the step out veins. Now we think that the previous drilling was all too shallow. Was only testing the upper high grade acid sort of sulphate leach cap, and we've changed that model significantly. So the Warrior system now, since the drilling, the red areas you can see on there amount to 10 kilometres of blind targets beneath the extensive shallow cover, and they're areas we're going to focus on now with our drilling to try and put a resource together. Interestingly, the anomalous silica sinter, that's important in this type of mineralisation, the outflow zone suggests that a low level of erosion and that mineralisation will be preserved. So we're hopeful that at depth, the mineral system is going to get better. The next project's New Pass. This is based near Austin in Nevada. This is a historic high-grade vein project, 17 to 20 grams. Historic production, 40,000 ounces produced. Hasn't been touched since the 20s and 30s, except by the old fellow who owned it, who was mining it sort of on a two-man operation, just high-grading it. So it extends to the Valley View mine to the south. That mine you can see on the end of the red zone is 4 or 5 kilometres away. So and that's undercover. So that's the vein system certainly extends. We've drilled it and put a bit of modern exploration into it. The 2022 drilling, we drilled about 5 holes. We're still waiting on assays for 5 holes. We've got assays on 2, so we drilled 7 holes. And the first hole had 1.22 metres hit the vein, about 150 metres below the old workings, and 26.7 grams of gold. And we also got some visible gold in some of the assays as well. So it's pretty exciting. As I said, 4 kilometre strike, and we're going to resume drilling there in 2023. So the potential, we're hoping there, we could potentially get a couple of 100,000 ounces of high-grade gold. The project also has other potential, which I'll talk about in a second. You can see that's a cross-section of the drilling that we've done and the intercepts that were made, and there's a bit of historic information on there as well, which shows some very high grades, 100 grams per tonne, 172 grams per tonne, but they'd be nuggets, I think, nuggety gold, but still, certainly proven to be a high grade mine and suits a company like ours. The Blackhawk Epithermal is the third project. That's a high grade discovery. We drilled a discovery hole in there when we were private in 2018. We've done a lot of geophysics, IP and gravity and other, and magnetics and low altitude helimag. Bonanza rock samples over the whole thing, and they're really, really high grade. Silver, copper, gold and lead zinc as well. So a lot of them over 30 grams gold, 1% silver and 20% lead zinc. So a really highly endowed system, a big system. We initially went after, off the helimag, we went after the vein system. We mapped it and confirmed the veins, and we've drilled under one of them and made a good discovery there. You can see down the bottom there, 12 metres at 219 grams silver and 0.36 gold. That all adds up to about 10 metres at plus 30 grams gold equivalent. So really rich little hit, and lots of drilling to do there. Drilling intensive, of course, because it's a narrow vein, high grade thing, but the veins are up to a couple of metres wide, 2 to 3 metres wide in places, and obviously we're looking for inflection zones where the veins are twisting and bending, where we might get some sweet spots. This shows you the epithermal veins. The red lines on there are the veins that have been mapped here, and the grades on there, you can't read them on there, but they're up 10, 15, 7, 8, 9 grams per tonne plus silver and silver, lead, zinc as well. The endowment mine up here at the top, that was 70,000 ounce recorded production. That's that mine up there. That's our hit there, our hole we drilled underneath that. Drilled 200 metres underneath it, down dip about 250 and hit the vein. So we're pretty pleased with that result, and we will be following up that drilling. So that's an exciting project. Moving along to Colourback. This is exciting in the sense that it's a Midas style target. It has a leakage anomaly on it that we have drilled, and it's confirmed that it's leaking. You can see the location here. We've got Cortez Gold Rush Formite, which is now extended up almost to the adjacent to the Cortez label there, and pipeline over here. And this Robertson deposit that Barrick's been drilling up the last few years, and they've really got plenty of drilling going, and we're just north of that. So these two big structures intersect on our block, and that leakage anomaly that we've now confirmed indicates pretty significant target potential at depth. So that, as I say, we got 29 metres at 1.3, including 7 metres at 3.61 gold. So it's, early days. Put half a dozen shallow holes into it and confirmed that that leakage anomaly, shallow leakage anomaly. That's the colourback drilling. I won't go into that too much detail. It just shows you that shallow zone there, the red area, and shows you the previous drill holes that are in it that all confirm that anomaly is there. There was talk that could be 100,000 ounces. We'd have to do a bit more drilling to figure that out, but we're more interested in deep target. We'll have a look at that, but we think the target's in the carbonate on the lower plate, which is a deeper target. Barrick's sort of sniffing around. They're interested in that project because of where it is, but we're going it alone for now. The Blackhawk Porphy is another discovery that we made in 2018. Initially flew low altitude heli-mag over this area. We did 500 square miles of area on spec. Came up with a target at Blackhawk, the vein system primarily, high grade veins, and looked really interesting. But on the data we saw an anomaly adjacent to the vein system, and it turns out to be a porphyry. It's a huge footprint, 25 kilometres square at least, and open in 2 or 3 directions. Got a 13 square kilometre sulphide alteration zone, so it's a genuine big porphyry, world-class scale, if it's got enough grade and we can find the sweet spots. The model has been proven by our drilling. We've drilled 3 holes in it, and a lot of targets generated that need to be drilled. And we drilled a 1,200 metre hole last year in it, and strong alteration, porphyry alteration observed all the way to the bottom of the hole, and we've got assays and interpretation pending on that. So there's a bit of news to come. I'm running out of time here, so I'll keep moving. This is the scale of the project. There's the vein system. That's the adjacent epithermal high-grade vein system. Some of the veins in the vein system were the porphyry D veins that have been mined. So they're all part of this. We now know as part of this big porphyry system. So it's there's some great-looking rocks in there too. So very highly endowed system, and right on the Walker Lane structures. It's all kind of adding up. So we're really excited about it. The big companies are interested because of the scale of it and its location. But it is early days. We've got to spend a fair bit of money on it, and we think that a major as a partner is probably the way to manage that for a smaller company, and we've got some pretty good interest in that. There's an example of targets. We've got a dozen or at least a dozen, probably 20 targets identified from geophysics. The important thing here is that you can see this is a combination of high-grade copper at surface, vertically attenuated chargeability high, a gravity low, and remnant magnetic response. So all the 3 components coming together at that spot. So it's an obvious target with phyllic alteration mapped at the surface. So a really genuine chance as a good big porphyry project. We have a generative program also that we've done with the map on the right shows our flight area. We did 300 square miles in this area, from which we generated the Blackhawk projects and the Warrior project, and we've got a number of targets we're working on. We've got geologists on this generative program, 34 priority targets, 1 targets, and then 49 priority 2, and so it goes on. So a lot of potential for additional prospects to be generated. There's a pipeline target hierarchy. We've got advanced exploration, we've got some early stage grassroots prospecting and generative potential as well. So we're a real exploration based outfit, and we're pretty strong in the geology and exploration side, and we're really focusing obviously on the advanced exploration at this point, getting a couple of resources going on that high grade, those high grade projects. So the takeaways, we're in Nevada, which is obviously pro-mining, good access, can operate 12 months of the year, tier 1 mining jurisdiction, plenty of infrastructure. We've got a great team, really experienced, good track record of discovery. Little private company like us made 2 discoveries in the last 4 or 5 years. Balanced portfolio, we've got gold and copper, and a couple of different styles of gold, as I said. 4 high-grade gold projects, which are clearly our focus because we can slow-hanging fruit, and we think we can generate resources fairly rapidly on those. And the world-class scale porphyry, which is clearly the company maker if we get a partner in and we can jag some better than 0.5% copper in that. So we're drilling underway, we've got assays pending, and we're expecting a pretty good news flow this year in terms of our drilling and other works, and we're pretty aggressive on the program. We drilled 4 of our 5 projects last year, so we didn't get the program totally finished that we wanted to do, but we got enough holes into all the projects to go on with this year. So yeah, it was a good year. It was a busy year, listing in May, and then drilling 4 projects by December 15th, I think we finished. So yeah, it's been a good ride. So we look to market ourselves now in North America. Obviously the Nevada scene is not that well understood in the Australian market. We think it's understood here. I think Canadians particularly are used to the Nevada stories and the success that companies have had there. So we feel like the marketing and promotion of the company in North America is important for the share value and the market cap, because we think it'll be better appreciated. So we've just started that process now with Red Cloud, which is why I'm here.